Alright, welcome everybody. I haven't been posting any videos for a while, but today I'll be checking out Cyberpunk 2077 on the GTX 1060 paired with the Ryzen 5 3600. Right now I'm running the game on low graphical presets. As you can see, the GPU is completely maxed out and we're running at around 40 to 50 FPS. This game really isn't that well optimized. You can see the textures are loading in slowly as you approach the cars. Also, there is a lot of pop-in. I feel like there is a lot of graphical issues in this game. Now, there are certain ways to get a better performance. I will be showing you them later on in the video. For now, let's just see the performance. You see, this car has no textures until a little while later. This game really doesn't look really all that bad on low, but on medium it looks better and performs just as well. I don't think I can hijack this car. Alright, moving on. Alright, now I changed the graphical preset to medium, and as you can see, the game looks a lot better and less pop-ins, and the performance really didn't degrade as much. We're still running in the mid 40s.
So handsome.
Alright, let's do some driving around and let's see what the FPS is like. So immediately you can see we're dropping into the 30s but barely holding on to the 40s. This is a playable experience because you see the new consoles can't even properly, I mean the old consoles, the PS4, Xbox One can't even run the game, and uh, even the new consoles run it at 30 at 1080p. So right now I feel like we're having a console level experience, but we still have the flexibility to turn down some few settings to get to 60 fps. I'll show that to you in a few moments. But now let's just check out on high. You see motion blur turned on and we're instantly under 30 fps now. In this game under 30 it's like really choppy and has a lot of inconsistent frame timing. Like I can feel the inputs not working as well as it was on low. It's still playable. I would suggest you to turn off motion blur. It's really nauseating. I don't really like motion blur on any game. I turn it off on all the games. The only game that I didn't turn off motion blur was Forza Horizon 4 because I think it didn't have such a high level of motion blur. So as you can see, we're running in the 30s on high and the game looks really beautiful. We're not having that many issues while playing the game. Now I'm going to turn off the motion blur because I'm not really feeling well. Yeah, well, this game it's not meant to be run on high on the GTX 1060. Alright, now I'm going to try on ultra settings just for the heck of it. So also there is no ray tracing or DLSS because this is a GTX card and not an RTX card. And I would say the ultra to high settings doesn't really affect it as much. I think the nighttime gameplay would make a lot more difference because there would be a lot more lights and a lot more effects post processing going on. So right now I think we're at an optimal stage where we can play the game. I wouldn't really suggest playing in ultra. I would suggest you to put the preset on medium and the texture quality to high. Now there is one setting we can use is this dynamic fidelity. This is like uh, dynamic resolution scaling. We can set the FPS to 60 and the lowest resolution you'll set it to get to 60 FPS. Right now we're basically running at half of 1080p, like it's 916 to 540 because I set the resolution scaling to 50% as low as it can go and set the FPS to 60. So it's running at 916 540 internally, but we're still not gonna get to 60 FPS. But this game, the resolution is really low but the effects are really high and the game is running quite well, but it doesn't look really that well. As you can see, there are a lot of jagged edges and unsmooth corners. Now I'm going to set it to medium and I'm going to turn up the maximum resolution to at least 80. I think this looks a lot better. If you have a 1080p monitor, this is what you should use. Medium settings, high texture, and 80% maximum resolution and 60 FPS. I think this is the most optimal gaming setup you can use to play this game. It looks beautiful and also performs really well. If you have a PC, if you have a PC like this one, if you have an RX 580 or 480 or even a 1070 or the like or 970, you should be able to play this game no problem. Apart from the game breaking bugs, this game I feel like the story is good. It's not like The Witcher. I think a lot of people mistake this game for being better than The Witcher. I think the expectation they had for CD Projekt Red to make this game a lot better because they promised a lot of things and didn't really deliver because their last game was so good. I think it was the expectation that really ruined this game. On its own, I think it can stand, but as soon as CD Projekt Red can, you know, smooth out the bugs in the game, the texture popping, the graphical issues, and the low performance on lower end PCs and the entry level consoles like the PS4 and Xbox One, I think the backlash they have been facing from the gamers will be a lot more lenient because I feel like this game has a lot to offer, but a lot of people can't really enjoy it because of the performance and the bugs. As soon as those things get smoothed out, I feel like this game will be a lot more acceptable by the general public. Now, I couldn't really show you any gunplay, but uh, during shooting scenes, it's not really that uh, hard to do. Like there are barely 5 to 6 people on the streets at a certain time, so it's not really that hard on the GPU to handle it. I feel like if you have this 1060 and even an i5 of I don't know 7, 8 or even the newer generations, I feel like you can run this game properly. Like you can see it, we're not even using half of our CPU power, and this game is running quite well. I feel like this is playable, and I hope you liked the video and enjoyed it. If you didn't like the video, dislike. If you liked the video, give a like, share and subscribe for more future content. Thank you, and goodbye for today.